Hey everybody, Ryan Finnegan here, owner of Finnegan Security Solutions, and I'm coming at you for day 2 of day 30. Today's topic is self-defense starts with self. Now, you may be thinking that's a fairly obvious statement, but really what I'm going to hammer out of this short message is that self-defense starts with self for a purpose, starts for a reason, because you are responsible for your own personal safety, period. If you're relying on your husband, your wife, your partner, your employer, the police, the local security guard to provide a level of security for you personally, you're way behind the power curve, period. And it's a dangerous way to be, right, when you don't have the ability or the skills to defend yourself. So I want you to make sure you get clear on that concept, that you are responsible for your own personal safety. So how are we going to do this? So together, over the next 29 days, I'm going to provide you in bite-sized chunks tips and things that you can do to be able to learn how to defend yourself, learn how to be safe, and in a variety of capacities. So if you tell yourself that you don't need to be safe, that you don't need to learn how to defend yourself because you live in a safe environment, you have guns in your house, you carry a gun, your husband's a cop, he's a military, he's a veteran, whatever, I'm going to ask you to consider this. By learning how to defend yourself, it is not only going to allow you the ability to detect a potential violent encounter, how to diffuse the situation so that if you are in that situation, you can either talk your way out or stand the situation down, or if it goes hands-on, how to be able to defend yourself. Is the ability to defend yourself and a loved one spans over multiple areas of your life. So I want to have you consider this. Your ability to defend yourself and to be safe, right, will carry over how you operate in your body. So when you're, excuse me, the ability to know how to defend yourself will increase your self-confidence. Once I increase my self-confidence, it allows me to walk with confidence. And studies have shown that people that walk with confidence are less likely to be victims of attack, right? Because a bad guy doesn't want 3 things. He doesn't want to get hurt, doesn't want to get caught, doesn't want the scenario to take too long. So if I walk around like I am ready to defend myself at the drop of a hat, right? That person that doesn't want to get hurt, doesn't want to get caught, doesn't want the scenario to take too long, will look for an easy target. There are always easy targets. Don't be that easy target. 2, my ability to handle stress through understanding how to be safe expands my mental capacity to be able to handle stress across various areas of my life, especially if I understand the fear management piece and how my brain operates, is that I can understand what is going on in my head. Therefore, as stress comes, right, I know how to handle it. Your increased self-confidence spans across your entire family. So especially if you have kids, when your kids see how confident you are, because you're going to act different when you're confident. If I walk around like this, right, people look at me as they don't have confidence. If I am ready to do business and I'm ready to take action, right, and I feel good, I look good, and I act good, right, that spans across everybody that's around you, because they feel that energy and they want to be around you, and they see that and it inspires them to take action. It helps you in your business. So whether you're an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur, so you own a business or you work within a business, if I feel confident about myself, I'm able to make decisions. I know that I can take bigger risks because I have confidence in myself to be able to handle the situation. I don't need to ask. I don't need to uh, to, doubt myself. Is this the right decision? Hell no. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to produce. I'm ready to produce for myself. I'm ready to produce for my company. And that is all driven within the self-confidence that you'll gain from being able to protect yourself. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples from previous students that I've had that I've trained with. I'm going to start with a 13-year-old girl. When I met this girl, her grandparents came to me and said, hey, look, she's being bullied at school. Can you help her? Easy day. The first hour we sat down at the table. We broke the training down in 2 sessions. So the first hour we sat down at the table. She barely looked at me and would barely talk. We simply talked about how the body would operate and how fear management works and the stories that she's telling herself in her head. Fast forward 2 weeks, the first thing she comes in, I can see her beaming. And her grandma says, tell him what you learned, or tell him what you did. So basically she had been bullied almost into submission and depression at school by a boy. Now she's 13 years old. I hadn't taught her anything. We hadn't even put hands on and did any moves. She stood up to this kid and said, enough's enough. Today's the last day you're going to do that. Kid freaks out, short of the story, into the bullying situation. Fast forward 3 weeks, she had a court appearance to go to. And it wasn't because she was in trouble. And I never asked what it was. But when I followed up with her grandma later, her response was, because of you, right? She was able to go back and talk to the judge for like 30 minutes in closed quarters and tell him and get everything that she asked for. Mind you, when I talked to her less than a month earlier, she wouldn't answer any of my questions. She had to be prodded to even talk to me, to answer my questions. But yet, within a month, within 4 hours of training with me, she can A, stop a bully, but B, go to a judge and tell him everything that she wants and get it. Key one. Story 2. I had a student that was a victim of workplace bullying and being degraded by her employer, basically the owner of the company. And she had a story that was stuck in her head of fear that she couldn't quit because she didn't have another job. She didn't have the skills. So after training, right, she understood the fear management portion of it and understood the story was stuck in her head. She went back to work. She quit her job, right? Didn't have a job, which I always recommend quitting a job when you have a job. But if you're in a situation where you can't stand to go to work because your boss is bullying you or somebody at work and you got to quit, she quit. What ended up happening? Fast forward a month and a half later, she's now the manager of a Denny's at a large city in California, right? All by taking the first step. Here's a third story. Had a student of mine. She was in a marriage that was dead, and it had been dead for years. And the story and the fear in her head was, in another 10 years, when the kids are out of the house, I can get divorced and go live my life. After working through visualizations and understanding fear and where she was, right, she was able to, 1, realize she could do it by herself, and 2, that she could actually go and file. Short of the story is that she went, filed for divorce. She's great. The kids are great. And she's booming at work. And she's probably more successful now because she's truly happy, and the energy and the confidence that she could actually do it all came from the ability to know that she could, 1, defend herself, which then grew to self-confidence, which then grew to results. The last story is a friend of mine that came to a class. She came and dragged a friend to a second class. She did some training with me. She was in primarily a men's only work environment. She was the only female. She rode the train for the first time in her life by herself into Los Angeles. So a lot of you are probably watching this going, okay, so what? No big deal. I would do that myself with my eyes closed. Okay, this was a huge feat for her because she would have never done that without coming to train with me. Fast forward to that, I went out to support her, one of her bowling leagues, and a coworker came up to validate what she had learned and basically said, look, dude, I don't know what you taught her, but before she started training with you, she took it from everybody in the office. She would never stand up for herself. She would just sit there and just get bullied and picked on. But now, whatever you taught her, She now stands up for herself. She now defends herself against everybody. And I simply told him I didn't do anything. I showed her that she had the tools within her to stand up for herself. And that all came from one, her knowing how to defend herself, which if you're getting picked on in the office, nobody's probably going to assault you, right? But the self-confidence that it takes to stand up to say, shut your freaking mouth, right? I'm tired of hearing it. She would have never done that. The one before would have never gotten a divorce. The one before that would have never quit her job and would just be depressed every day going to work, getting humiliated in front of her coworkers and clients. And then the one before that would have never sat in front of the judge and told him for 30 minutes, here's exactly what I want at 13 years old. Why? Because they were confident. Prior to self-defense training, they didn't have the confidence that they got. So how do you get the confidence? One, if you're close to me, right, and we're in the same general area, we need to be training. We need to train. If not, you can sit around and you can hope, right? Hope ain't going to get you nowhere, right? If you're not close to me, two, you can tune into all the videos that I'm going to post over the next 29 days or so to learn about the various pieces and ways that you can do it. Third, if you want to train with the Blauer Tactical Systems coach and you're not in my area, let me know. Shoot me what city you're in, and I will see if there's an affiliate coach that's close to you that can learn the same stuff that I teach to help take you to a brand new level. And if you're watching this and you've trained with me before, I encourage you to leave a comment on your biggest takeaway, something that was successful in your life, just to show people that, hey, I took this class and here's what's happened. So I encourage you to seek training and seek reliable training to one, be able to defend yourself, which is the most important piece, but two, bring a true sense of self-confidence to take you across all levels of your life and not just in a safety environment. So if you're watching this, I highly encourage you to do that and do it sooner, right? Don't wait until you absolutely need it, because by then it's too late. Now is a time of your life to be proactive. So until next time, be aware, be alert, be prepared, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in.